Okay. So, good afternoon once again, and welcome to yet another empowering edition of the Vibe Live, a hexalog. The Vibe, that stands for Women Inspire, Build, and Enhance, is a platform dedicated to fostering women's excellence. It brings together women doctors from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership experiences, and personal journeys that inspire growth and collaboration. There are four fundamental pillars that form the vibe: physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives, the vibe strives to build a strong community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of healthcare leadership. I'm Dr. Ritu Johri, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert practicing in western suburbs of Mumbai. I have a unique background with decade and a half spent in pharma and now since last half a decade practicing diabetes, thyroid and obesity. Besides clinical practice, I also indulge in research and medical writing as a co-founder of RFECT, a medical marketing agency. But what brings me utmost pleasure in sharing is the introduction of this exclusive initiative, The Vibe, as founder of one of its kind platform that targets fostering women excellence. I'm blessed to be complemented by my husband, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and our family feels complete with a teen son and a 3-year daughter. With that, first of all, welcome very much Dr. Rishma Dillanpai to this episode of the Vibe Live, and let us introduce you to our team Vibe, Dr. Lutika.
So, hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Luthika Purohit, and welcome Dr. Rishma to this Vibe Hexalog. I'm a diabetologist and a lifestyle medicine physician practicing in Kolaba, Mumbai since the last 3 decades or so. Besides that, I'm the visiting faculty at JJ Group of Hospitals and Police Hospital, and I'm part of the National Executive Committee of the Research Society for Study of Diabetology in India. So my partner is more popularly known as the Sugar Doctor, Dr. Suresh Purohit, and I'm a mother to an artist and an entrepreneur. Also, what highlights our Wednesday afternoon since the last 6 months or so is that we have this wonderful conversation with a star speaker who's a woman physician, an achiever in her own right. And it is a great sharing experience, learning for us, as well as, a nice time to understand what are the struggles that women physicians per se go through. Now I hand over to Dr. Kavita Rane for her introduction.
Thanks, Dr. Latika. Good afternoon, ma'am. Namaskar, everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I practice in Chembur as a diabetes and obesity expert. I'm the director of operations at Rani Hospital in Chembur, and I also visit Apollo Spectra in Devnar. Other than diabetes, I love art. I love abstract art. I love to visit galleries and concerts and EDM music. I have also been a travel photographer and have had my exhibition at Jahangir in the year 2019. I love to educate my community towards diabetes and its awareness and obesity. So it has been excellent being a part of this forum and talking to such amazing staff speakers such as you, ma'am. Over to Dr. Rukia.
Good afternoon. Welcome here on Vibe Hexalog. I'm Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I'm a diabetes, thyroid, and obesity specialist. I've been practicing in Mulund for a decade and a half. And this journey has taught me that healthcare is not just about treating numbers, it's more about understanding the people. But when I'm not in clinic, you see that I do my workouts, I love to play carom, and most importantly, I enjoy this great company with meaningful conversations that make you think and also laugh. And lately, I have started painting, which is my way of adding little color and calm to the chaos of daily life. So I'm truly excited to be here today between all of these inspiring women in medicine to learn, to share, and to grow together. Over to you, Dr. Pranjali.
Thank you so much, Rukia. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist at Diabetes Clinic. APT stands for Awareness, Prevention and Treatment of Diabetes. And I also handle internal operations at iHeal, which is led by my husband, who is a cornea transplant surgeon. Apart from treating young diabetic patients and help them live longer and stronger, you will find me on weekends doing farming, spending time in animal shelters, hiking. And I'm a mother of two energetic boys, so you can imagine our house when we are together. And I'm a pet parent too, so it's like full chaos in the house, but we enjoy that chaos, and it's a big relief for me when I go home. And looking forward for the great session, ma'am. Over to you, Dr. Ritu, for the segment.
Thank you so much, girls. And man, it's been truly like a countdown. We've been waiting to have you here. We loved having you at the Vibe Connect. We heard you, we saw you grooving, and we just loved every bit of that. We couldn't, of course, speak to you at then, and that's why today is really special for all of us to have this tete-a-tete with you. So a very, very social, warm welcome to you. And a quick question before I introduce you for our audience. How did you feel when you were invited for the Vibe or the Vibe Connect?
Oh, so it was my first exposure to this vibrant, I think you should have called it vibrant vibes rather than just vibes. It was amazing. It was so different. And you can see the powerhouse of women over here who, as I've just discovered, are not only great academicians, as I know you to be, but also amazing second life that you all have with family and hobbies and wonderful things that you do on the side, your interests and all your passions. So to be in the group of such people, not only the five of you, but a whole lot of other women, the energy was amazing. And the dance at the end of the thing, the movement, that was really spectacular. So one of the few occasions where I stayed for a long, long time and really participated wholeheartedly. So I'm happy to follow that up with today's conversation with all you amazing girls. To be honest, I'm a little intimidated, okay? I mean, I've done podcasts with one and two persons, but to have five super smart, talented, highly educated, brilliant girls, like, shooting questions at me, I'm a little intimidated, but I will try.
My God, ma'am, I think that's pretty humble of you to say that, because I know your achievements have been so huge, and with people always centering towards you, asking questions at you, I'm sure you're a diva. You'll carry that beautifully well. So, with your permission, just few words about Dr. Rishma Lalpa. It's my privilege to have the opportunity. Ma'am is a globally respected leader in gynecology and fertility, known for her clinical excellence, visionary leadership, and influential voice about women's health. And she is the only Indian to have served as president of all the three leading gynecological infertility and endoscopy organizations, which is the FOXY, the ISAR, and the IH. In fact, more power to you, ma'am, because she's the only Indian woman to be selected as the president elect for an international platform, which is the International Federation of Fertility Societies, the IFFS. Where 68 countries have their specialists coming in. So kudos, man. She also has been a first one to be having the esteemed fellowship honoris causa of the Royal College of Obstetrician and Gynecologists, FRCOG, London, UK, in the year 2018, which is again very few Indians have received this honor from the prestigious 90-year-old British Society. She's been instrumental in training the youth, the patients, the women of our country through various initiatives, whether it's the Yes Project, the Nari Swasthya Camp, or the Mamta TV for patient education as well. In fact, her campaign towards anemia eradication in the country was actually recorded within the Limca Book of Records for maximum number of anemia tests done in a day. Over the years, she received multiple esteemed awards across India and globally, honoring her excellence in her field. But recently, she's also been awarded as one of the most inspirational women at the Lokmat Awards as well. And with a touch of inspiration, I would say that we've been able to quote this particular, topic of today, which is power, purpose, and womanhood, navigating medicine, media, and modern femininity. So her journey is not less than any sheer inspiration. So with that, without further ado, welcome, ma'am, to this hexalog, and over to you, Kavita, for the first round.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. Thank you, all you girls, for being here. Looking forward to chatting with all of you. Be gentle on me, okay?
Thanks, Dr. Ratu. Ma'am, we are intimidated that, oh my gosh, I'm going to ask you the right question, the right form, the right way. So let's begin with the first segment, ma'am. So this is about legacy, ambition, and becoming your own name. The world may know your public success, but every iconic journey begins privately. You, ma'am, have come a long way, and we would love to hear your journey. So, being the sister of a Bollywood diva, Miss Delon, Miss Poonam Delon, you entered a field deeply tied to life, creation, and womanhood. Was medicine always your calling, or did purpose reveal itself over time?
So, yes, I've had a pretty strange, if you will, or unusual journey, starting out in small town Chandigarh in a very girls' convent school, so very proper, disciplined, you know, almost never saw any movies kind of a background. And then it so happened that my sister, Poonam Dhillon, became Miss India and then was pulled into Bollywood and moved into Mumbai when I was in ninth grade in Chandigarh. And so, when I moved to Mumbai 2 years later, it was a very different world. I was so scared, actually. I had never seen a local train. I'd gone to girls' school. So suddenly I went to Jai Hind after that, a co-ed school. Everybody spoke Marathi, of which I didn't know a word. And then when I would come home, there'd be all these people sitting in the living room. There'd be makeup people and photographers and directors and stories going on and a whole lot of
Wow.
stuff. And it was such a dramatic change for me. That I
Yeah.
was basically a little shy, like an introverted person, always taking part in debates and elocutions, but that was in a very controlled environment. And so I was thrown into this world, but somehow the academics was really very attractive to me. So I was a topper all along, and which is, I think, it made this sort of choice easier because from the whole of Jain College, which at that time used to be the college for selecting doctors, like doctors would, if you went to Jain, get into medical school. And I was the
Yeah.
only person from my entire class to get admission into KEM Hospital and GS Medical College, which has been the number one college in Mumbai on merit. And so that was the journey. And but even I remember this, and recently I met these people, so it came to my head again. I was in 12th standard, and my sister was shooting for a movie called Romance in London. And I was in 12th. I hadn't even applied for medical college at that time. But it was in my mind already. I'll be, going into. So from that day when I was in 12th, the entire unit and the director used to call me doctor. So doctor, doctor. And I was in 12th grade. I wasn't even anywhere close to being a doctor. So from that time onwards up until now, and you'd be surprised to know that I had at least two movie offers because I was
Oh.
18 that time and,
Wow.
well dressed and slim trim. And my movie sister was in a big movie star. And so one of the movies I still remember a million years ago, but was with Rajesh Khanna. And that was a movie that
Oh.
we did later. But
Wow.
it was genuinely, I mean, it was an outdoor location that I got the offer. I did not even discuss it with my family. I didn't even come back and have a big thing. Should we do? Should we not do? What should we do? No, it was there and then decided in my head that, this is not happening. I'm not cut out for this. And for me, medicine is the line. And from that's where the journey like to medicine took off. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's an amazing story, ma'am. I mean, it's inspiring. You should have done it actually. We would have loved to see you on
I could have
screen,
done this
literally.
and that, right?
You still can. You still can. So, moving on to the next question, ma'am. When did being a doctor stop feeling like a profession and start becoming your identity? Like, was there a defining moment when you transitioned from being a clinician to becoming a voice of influence?
So I think, being a doctor is a all-encompassing profession. It's not like others where you go for a 9 to 5 job and you come back day and night, and then the day again, you are a doctor. 24/7, the phone rings, patients are calling you. You're always, so to say, on duty, particularly if you choose to do private practice, right? Which I have right from the beginning. And so very soon from Rishma, I started being called Doc. And from then to now, it's always Doc, so that is
Ah,
my
yeah.
identity. I tell people, I said, you're so lucky. You don't even have to remember my name, in a party. Hi, Doc, hi, Doc. And it's done. I have to remember everyone's name. So, the doctor becomes very much a part of you. In fact, yesterday, for example, I was at a ladies, high tea, and there were like 15, 20 ladies. And the entire conversation, because I was there, literally veered towards menopause and weight loss and, all the typical hot flashes, all that. So when I am there, it's the center of medical practice. It's a never stop being a doctor. Even if I'm in a kitty party or a party, I'm always the doctor. So I think that happens. And I believe that, when I became the president of the Gynec Federation of India in 2017, so it was like almost 9, 10 years ago, that was, I think, a defining moment when it really became like one of the most important things of my life. Because when you're leading an organization, the Gynec Federation of India, with 48,000 gynecologists across the country as its members, of course, it's an election. It was a tough, position reach. But once you get there, then the responsibility hits you. It is, you just feel that, it's so important for you to kind of really change the situation for doctors and for women's health. And from there, I think my whole perception and attitudes became much broader, wider, and my sort of approach towards women's health became much larger and comprehensive.
True. Amazing. So, which means that the whole team got together to build those ideas, and that's what you were leading. So, which inspired you. That definitely must have been the defining moment for you, ma'am. Moving on to this last question. They say matches are made in heaven, and you seem to share a truly special one with Dr. Rishikesh Pai, sir. So, an accomplished expert in IVF and reproductive medicine. How has this partnership influenced your professional journey?
Majorly. I mean, I met my husband like many other doctors do in medical school, because we spent 10 years in AM. That's where I met him. But I was a student, and in medical school, as a student, you go to all the departments, gynec, medicine, surgery. So when I was doing my gynecology term as a student, third MBBS student, I met him. He was already, registrar in gynecology, so senior to me by 5 years. And he says that he decided the moment he saw me that this was going to be. And of course, we had a short courtship of about a year and a half, and we got married in my internship. And, my mom always used to tell me, do any profession, but don't become a gynecologist, because that's like takes up your whole life. And, you don't have a life day and night. You're going to the hospital and delivering. So kuch bhi karna, don't become a gynecologist. Then I met Rishikesh, who was already a gynecologist. So automatically, like, he didn't influence me, but it just kind of veered towards that. That's where my interest developed. And as the child always opposing the parent, I did the exact opposite of what my mom wanted me to do. And that has become a gynecologist. And since then, I have to admit, it's been a beautiful journey because, because he was a little older, he was in the same profession. He's been such a guiding light and such a support. And, it's like, it's just been, he's laid out the path for me in a way, and been more than the wind beneath my wings. He's just been like this huge, huge pillar of support. So it's been fantastic. And then we've traveled the world together. We go for all international conferences, meetings together. So it's so nice. We make a little holiday out of all our conferences and international travel and national travel. So I think it's just been a beautiful journey.
Yeah, it sounds like he's your best buddy. So that makes it so much more easier. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this, ma'am. We'll move on to the next segment with Dr. Rukia. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
The journey has been truly inspiring and adventurous at the same time. I think right from your movement from Chandigarh to having these Bollywood, I think people listening around, she's still available and she's fantastic on stage. So, they can still approach you for this, I'm sure. And what a sweet love story. It was wonderful.
So I did my little bit, if you remember, Vidya Balan did 2 movies in which she was pregnant. She was pregnant, and she used to literally come to my clinic on multiple occasions to know how a gynecologist behaves. In one movie, she was pregnant, and in one, she was playing a gynecologist. And so she would come and observe, and, I'd say to the patients, I hope you don't mind, we have Dr. Vidya Balan coming and observing you. And patients were like, no, we are privileged. We are very happy. And they would all, she would come, see how to examine the patient, how to take blood pressure, to be real, because she's a fabulous actor. and very authentic. So so I've done my little work towards portraying gynecologist on screen, and portraying a pregnant woman, how to sit, how to stand. So all of that. Very often, when they have something like that in the movies, they approach me, and I'm happy to help them out in that way. Yeah.
Wow, wonderful. So my segment is going to be talking about your leadership, the scale, and the public trust. So, like from a clinician to an institution. So we know that some doctors they only treat patients, but some they go on to shape how the entire system delivers care. And you have really done both in terms at your clinic and even as being at powerful positions in life. And you've done it at some highest level. So, being like a high profile fertility specialist, you deal with patients at their most vulnerable. How do you balance, that emotional connect with the responsibility of staying ethical and objective?
So to me, and I'm very proud to say, ethics comes first. I will never, and I'm sure there are many doctors who can say this, but not all, never willingly or knowingly do anything unethical. And that is something I'm very proud after 35 years of practice, that if I can stand on a strong and say I do not do anything unethical, I think it's something to be truly proud of. And there's no the compassion comes naturally. And I have also said this in so many words on many occasions, that the day I stop feeling, the day I stop caring about my patient, I'll stop practicing. Maybe I'm one of the blessed ones. Maybe I don't need to go there and earn every day that little money which I earn in my medical practice. So I will stop working the day I stop caring about my patients. Till today, if there is a really unfortunate story, or some patient comes with really tragic background or something, I will have tears in my eyes with her and all my patients. And now I'm seeing next generation. So today also I had a girl whom I've treated 20 years ago, and today she came with a 15-year-old daughter. And the only reason that happens, that Gen Next comes back to you, they come back with their children, they come back with their family, is because they form that connect with you. They realize that you care. You are not just a, dawai likh ke bhej do kind of a doctor. Never have I done that. Every medicine is explained, every procedure, every choice. Half an hour every consultation goes on. My husband laughs at me. He's like, you must be the doctor who does maximum consultations for hours and hours and hours, and the doctor who operates the least, because I never find a reason to do a hysterectomy. Even today, I've turned away a hysterectomy. I said, no, you'll do very well with a intrauterine device, or you'll do very well with medicines. Why do you need to do a surgery? So minimum surgery, maximum consultations, lot of connect with the patient. That's the way I love to practice medicine.
Wow, ma'am. But it's very rare to hear a gynecologist saying that, for sure. So, it's really nice, how you believe that, this connection with the patient and this compassion which goes a long way for the generations to come, when they trust you with their own daughters again back. So, ma'am, also you have led the most influential bodies in the women health, whether it is FOXY, ISAR, IAG. So, what does this meaningful leadership really mean to you beyond the titles?
I entered into the, if you want to call it, political zone very young in life. Like as soon as I joined medical practice in my first year of gynecology, I started presenting papers. I started being a master of ceremonies, came up the ladder slowly, started giving lectures, all of that. I realized it's something I really enjoy doing, is talking to people, connecting, spreading knowledge, just like all you girls do, right? You want to spread the knowledge. And from there, the whole leadership journey came along. And it gave you so much opportunity. I'll give you one example. Like many years ago, we were making the IVF law. It took a very, very long time, like years and years and years, for the law to finally come into being 3 years ago. But the entire making of the law, I was involved, having so many meetings, having this. We went to the parliamentary committee even. So, it was intimidating. We went to Delhi, sat there, 100 ministers and leaders surrounding you, and I'm representing the IVF Society of India, because I was ISAR and FOXY president, and to have a voice in the front of so many people. And there were a lot of arguments, because many of them, they're politicians. They don't understand. And you have to have the courage to stand up there and oppose what they're saying and tell them that, sorry, surrogacy is not meant for film stars. Surrogacy is meant for people who are born without a uterus. It's meant for patients whose womb is damaged by tuberculosis. It's meant for women who can never have a baby because they've had 5 miscarriages. And I stood up and I said that in front of a lot of opposition because they wanted to ban surrogacy completely, saying that, oh, only the film stars are having babies through surrogacy. It's like a lifestyle thing. And then, so, I had to make that sort of statement. And then afterwards, at the tea break, literally some of the ministers approached me and said, thank you, doctor, for opening our eyes. We didn't know that there were other reasons for surrogacy. We only thought the big heroes and directors have children through surrogacy. We didn't know that there are genuine concerns. And so today, surrogacy is not illegal in our country. It's strictly controlled, but it is not illegal. It is allowed. And so, I feel at every step, if you can make a little impact and something which will influence not only the other doctors which follow you for years to come, but the women of this country, who are benefiting, those who need these kind of benefits. So, this is just one example, and there are many, many more. Cesarean sections, hysterectomy, reducing hysterectomy rates. So at every level, when they have been decision makings at a high level, we've tried to help in a positive way. So I think that has been my biggest contribution.
Wow, really. So, ma'am, like we know, with responsibility also comes power. And the power can mean different things to different people around. So, what has this power meant to you in your personal journey? Professionally, we know it, you've been able to be there at the parliament and make rules. But personally, being at the leadership positions, how has that power changed your trajectory of life?
So to me, power is the ability to do what I want to do, what I choose to do. And that is a huge power, because unfortunately, there are so many people who are compelled or forced to do things which they don't want to do because they have to do a particular thing. And so for me, like I said to me, I will practice medicine till the day I love to practice medicine, till the day I care for my patients. I enjoy going to work. So for me, that is power. The power to be able to choose, to make the right decisions, to be able to say no, to be able to say yes when I want to. So for me, I feel powerful because I feel God has been kind and I've been able to make that kind of decisions as per my choice. That to me is power.
Wow, ma'am, I am going to take this learning, absolutely. And ma'am, while you have stood with such positions of authority, how do you still stay rooted in the identity as a woman and not just as a leader?
I think, all of us know, even if you are the chief minister, you're there only for a short period of time, and then you move on and somebody else is all powerful. And that applies to everybody in the world. And so, I have seen that, and I have seen people who come, even gynecologists who come into position of power, suddenly they change. Suddenly they're like a different person, like, oh my God, I'm like on top of the game. And for me, it is extremely important that you have to remain grounded. You have to remain a people's person, because the power or the glory comes and it just goes away. And what remains with you is 10 years later, people say, oh, during her presidency, Rishma really connected with the people. She made us feel like one big family. She made you feel good. So I think that was important. And that was also my upbringing. Like if you know about my sister Poonam Dhillon and you see what people talk about her, they will always say that she was one of the most grounded actresses, never, became one of those weird film stars. She was always very nice, normal, humble, and simple, and always with her books and studying on the sets. So I think it's also largely upbringing, that you stay grounded and don't lose perspective, because everything is a fleeting, flashing part. And what remains is how people think of you as a person or remember you as how you made them feel. Yeah.
Wonderful, ma'am. Absolutely. So true. This has been so touching and spectacular. It was great. And over to you, Dr. Ritu, for your next statement. I'm just still in my mind with what all you have just said.
Generally, ma'am, whenever I'm talking, I bring up my topic and I merge so many things to lay the platform for my next segment. But today I am just floored in the sense that I'm getting my brain literally in a storm, kind of a picture where so many words, so many adjectives. But I would like to say that there's a spark about you. There's truly a spark about you, which shows as a very pure soul, where it is the intent which is very clear, that you had compassion, you wanted to make that compassion relevant, you've kept your positions, but you've ensured that those positions have left an impact. I think legacy, if it has to be defined, the L starts with Dr. Rishma Dillanpai. I think that is what came to me as whatever I heard so far. And like Dr. Rukia was mentioning, that whenever you are in authority, it's very easy to become, have a air about yourself that, oh my God, I'm the so and so, I'm the president, and I'm the so and so. But again, standing up and opposing a entire room of people, and trust me, I got goosebumps when you told about the surrogacy thing, because yes, it's about changing lives for so many people. We may sit at our homes and think that this is what should be done, should not be done, but sitting at the chair and making the relevance of being there, making and making sure that things are working for people is really not something that happens every day. So kudos to you, man, for that. So the next segment that I am heading is talking about womanhood, partnership, and personal power, balancing excellence in public and private life. And as you rightly said, it's that when it is about power and powerful women, balance is often discussed but rarely understood. And when you were saying that whatever happens, the power comes and power goes. Similarly, I always feel that when it is women, we, how much ever we may be a prime minister, we may be a head of the hospital, we may be xyz, but we are still mothers to our children, we are still wives to our husbands, we are still the woman of the house as well. So here this segment is going to talk about your responsibilities, your patient connect, and balancing the entire thing, playing the juggler often. So how can women actually embrace ambition? We know that women actually shy away and have the women's guilt typically, or societal pressure that no, I want to be a good mom, a good wife, good sister. But how women embrace ambition without carrying the guilt? And generally, how do ambitious women protect personal relationships without compromising their professional careers or growth?
Women, I genuinely believe women are amazing. Women are spectacular. They can do all of this and more. Men can't do it. Believe me, men are not capable of doing half the things women are capable of doing. If they're working, they're working. If they're at home, they're at home. They can't do it. If they're watching TV, that's all they're doing. We can do multitasking literally fabulously. And I have to say, like I told you, I've been on this, I've been working all my life. I've never taken off from work. I've had leadership roles. But I also am so proud that I never neglected my kids. I think I went to almost every, I may have missed one or two, almost every parent-teacher meeting, every sports day. I read all my children's essays. I helped them in everything. In fact, so many times that was one of the common questions I've got over the years. Like my daughter went to MIT in Boston. She's an engineer. I think she was the only or one out of two children from India who got selected to go to MIT for engineering undergraduate. It's rare. It's the #1 university in the world. And people say to me, Arey, you're such a busy doctor. How did you manage? Your daughter went to MIT. Nobody ever gets selected to an MIT. She was in Ambani school and she was the only child from Ambani to ever get selected into MIT. So, it's like that. My son is a gynecologist. He's a gold medalist from undergraduate, postgraduate. Everything he's done his Royal College exams and passed with flying colors. So, so the children are not neglected. And believe me, the husbands are too busy to really look into babies' nitty-gritty of the children. So the wife has to do that. The house is well run. Of course, I have to say, it takes a village. It does take, and you should not be ashamed to take support. When I was younger, I had my mother-in-law with me. And I'm so grateful for that. I don't know why people want to live separate from their mother-in-laws. I think if you have a slightly educated or understanding mother-in-law, it's the best thing that can happen. I took her help. I took help of staff, and I'm very good to my staff. the maids who work in my house, my staff is with me for 30 years. My drivers are with me for 30 years. Nobody ever leaves if they're working with me. That is what you have to do. You have to nurture people. You have to make them feel a part of the family. You have to have a little village around you. And that's how you can do this and that and then some more. So I've never felt that, I've neglected any aspect. Yeah, maybe somebody who's a 24/7 mother, maybe they do some more, but I never wanted to be a helicopter mom. I wanted my children to have their little independence, make their decisions, so that they are proud of their achievements. That's not my achievement, it's their achievement. So I feel, I think women can do it all.
Lovely. And I clearly, the upbringing shows, ma'am, I mean, the way you had a very protected childhood, but at the same time, you were given the choice and the freedom to pursue your dreams, whether it was Poonam Dillon ji or whether it was you yourself, having the diversity and still ensuring that, Poonam ji is a very well-read person as well. And then, of course, your children now doing amazingly well, being brilliant at the academics, but yet being so grounded and, with you showing that presence has always been there. So that is amazing. I think kudos to you and Rishikesh sir as well for this. Talking the next question is, when you talk about the projects which you've done, ma'am, like I mentioned, the Yes Project or the Nari Swasthya. So whenever you were addressing the youth or you were addressing the women or even entering the Limca Book of Records, for the anemia screening camp. So these are things which actually take a lot of effort, while it is easy to, memorize this and tell, but then, behind every particular project there is so much and so forth that goes in that sometimes you may feel drained because of course you have the practice going on and all that. How do you find a balance, getting back home, doing these projects and then also managing your practice patients and also of course the Bollywood help that you've been doing alongside?
So, a lot of people, unfortunately, take on a leadership role for the title. That, oh, I was president of this. That is really not the way to go about it. I mean, if there's one word which often, like everybody who's worked with me, like when I was president, they were my vice presidents or they were my chairpersons of committees. They will say one word about me. The Dr. Pai is very, very meticulous. I dot my I's and I cross my T's. I am super particular. I am not, never was, and never will be a person who will download Chat GPT and pass it on. Never. Chat GPT bhi bolega to main ek word ko correct karungi. That's the kind of person I always am. So when I knew that I was going to become the president of the Gynec Federation of India, we know that about a year and a half in advance because the election happened early.
Yes.
I have got diaries written, points, thought processes, what new can I do? Because before me, and I can say this very proudly, before me for many years, all the presidents of FOXI, our Gynec Federation, would do conferences, they would do CMEs. So if the previous president did 5 conferences, the next president said, oh, I'll do 7. I'll be bigger than that. I'll do 10 conferences. That was the competition. But when I came in, I said, this is not the way forward. This is not, women's health is not about having conferences and CMEs. Of course, that's important. And so for the first time ever in our federation, we started doing public service. We started doing outreach programs. And so I did for the first time Nari Swasthya Pehal. We did free camps throughout the country. Thousands and thousands of women we looked after. I took over many, many schools, again, across the country, because we do have vice presidents and chairpersons. Right. So across the country, we have a very strong network. So we took over so many schools. We educated not just the teachers, but the students, age appropriate. So we did a lot of different things which nobody had ever done before. I took a lot of celebrity messaging, like Asha Bhosle just passed away very recently.
Yes.
She was a dear patient of mine. I delivered her grandchildren. So I told her, I said, Asha ji, you are such a famous person. Agar aap kuch bologe, puri dunya sunegi. So she actually came to my house. She sat with me. She recorded messages for children, for women. They, just simple messages in Hindi to, do that. This is how you need to do. Go for your checkup, children, you need to do this. And those kind of messaging, which I had the privilege of getting from celebrities, really reach out to a lot of people. And so many different things we did. It was an entire year practice. I lost a lot of practice even. But when you take on a leadership role, then that is it. Then you have to make that impact. That's your chance and opportunity to make a difference. And so even if you lose some money in the process, or you lose a few patients, it's fine. But that was totally my goal. And that really happened again when I became president of IVF Society of India, or the Laparoscopy Society of India. And later on, I even became president of the Mumbai Gynec Society. So it has always been that at that point in time is extremely important to me. And my children at that time, they were younger, and they're like, do you get paid for this? I said, no, but you're losing a practice. You're not getting paid. You're spending all your life doing this. What is the point? I said, you won't understand this till you come to that stage of what it means to be given the privilege of having a position of leadership and power where you can make a difference. So yeah, you make a lot of sacrifices, but it's all worth it.
Absolutely. I think you've definitely set a very good benchmark, ma'am. And I think I really love the way you say it, that, positions are not just the titles, beyond the titles, it's what you make of it. And I think you've clearly made too much out of it, which is so such a matter of pride for all of us. And I just want to bring up that, I was viewing some of your videos, was doing my R&D before I made the video yesterday, and I was just so enthralled when I saw you saying, when you were getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, and you mentioned that, these presidents are my vice presidents, Dr. Sunita and Dr. So it was so good to see that camaraderie, the way you were shaking hands with all of them. That shows, how deep rooted love and passion people also have for you. And I think that is what makes you feel that you've arrived in life, because everybody comes with a particular set, they get trained, they earn money. So I think those are very rudimentary things. But what makes a mark is, this leadership attribute of staying there and making, the impacts that you did. So with that last question, I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
No, I also talk a lot. So we had two of us. I never wanted to be the gynecologist who's famous in her street. This gynecologist in the next building, and everybody's going to her, and she's making a lot of money delivering all the Bajuka babies. That's not the point, So it's so nice to be able to sort of diversify more, to reach out more, to be known across the country and maybe even the world, now that I'll be taking on some leadership roles. So it means a lot. You're not just a local doctor, but you are trying to be a little bigger and more than that,
Like I said, you have the spark. So, why waste it? You have to use it to the best that is possible. So, with that, my last question, ma'am. Modern femininity is evolving. What does it mean to you today? And, given that our earlier ages, have you ever felt the need to tone down your femininity to be taken seriously in your field?
So, I am not a pink ball of fluff. I'm not like a little fluffy feminine thing. That's not what you are. But at the same time, like I said, a woman is essentially compassionate, caring. That comes naturally to her, and that you retain. But at the same time, you can be strong. You can be, having a commanding presence. You can be, an achiever. So it's a nice balancing game. And fortunately, the environment that we all of us are in, we've never felt being feminine is a negative, or being a woman is negative. Look at all you women and what fantastic things you're doing, and how you're trying to change healthcare and to make an impact more than outside your little field of endocrinology, right? So I think all of us have that ability. We have our feminism, which is fantastic. We have our strength. And I think if we can combine that perfectly, there is no sort of staying back at all.
Wonderful. So inspiring. As I said, sheer inspiration is on the way for everybody who's listening to you. So with that, thank you so much, ma'am. My segment is done for now. For now, I pass it on to Dr. Lutika for her segment.
Oh, wow. So it was really very nice hearing all the things that you've done. And I'm so glad that you've not gone to the Bollywood and you've continued to be a gynecologist. Though coming from a background, my father was a gynecologist, and it was very certain that I would become. But like how you said that what the parents say and the children don't want to do. So I was very clear that gynec is not where I'm going. And I decided to do that.
Well, my son decided to take up gynecology.
So good, that's nice.
I think somewhere we did something right.
Yeah. No. So it's maybe the rebellious teens that we are, that probably at that age when you choose is when you want to do something different and create a different path for yourself. But your path has been amazing. So coming to the fourth segment, the modern woman, fertility and unspoken reality, biology, ambition, and difficult truths. So these days we hear so many modern women, they have more choices at fertility, and but however there is a lot of time crunch, or there's a lot of time sensitivity, and it's very important that do you think that do women delayed motherhoods for women balancing career, identity, and family? What conversations need to happen earlier?
Uh, I think conversations need to happen all the time. So it's not like you can suddenly get up today and tell a woman, oh, you're 35, you better have your baby today. It's not possible. It has to be a continuum of age appropriate information and knowledge. And I'm a true believer in that, which is why I started that, youth education and service, the YES program, because in schools, they need to know what is age appropriate for them. Maybe menstrual hygiene, maybe a little bit about some hormones, a little bit about PCOS, things like that. Once they go into college, maybe a little bit more about contraception, about, future planning, etc. And then when they go into the reproductive age group, they must know. It is their choice what they want to do, but it has to be an informed choice. And that is where I am extremely unhappy that even amongst the educated women today, the knowledge, the real knowledge on the ground is very, very minimum. They have no idea. They may just go and become pregnant, ho jata hai, or they don't become pregnant, they try for many and then they come to the doctor. That's not the way it should be. In your late 20s, for example, if you're not married, do seek the doctor's consultation. You don't have to make a decision, but at least know. And if you make an informed decision, whatever decision you make is fine. But I mean, the knowledge. So for me, it's really a continuum of age appropriate information and knowledge, which unfortunately, even though the world is full of knowledge right now, you put on Instagram, you put on, any channel online, it's full of information. They do not have the information that they should have at that age.
So what is the one difficult truth about reproductive health that society still avoids discussing?
So I think one is not for women. One is that men are responsible for 50% of patients who have infertility. So if a couple cannot conceive, it's not always the woman's fault. It is also half the time the man's issue or problem. Now, that's something we have to accept. Secondly, biological clock is real. So people have a very, have a misconception. Oh, I'm still getting my period, so I can become pregnant anytime. So the periods, the hormones is very different from fertility, which is the egg and the ovulation. And that finishes much before the periods finish. So your periods may finish at 50, but your fertility may finish much before that, 10, 15 years even before that. And so all of this knowledge is unfortunately not. And even today, infertility is a taboo topic. Very many people will not say that they've had IVF. It's still something which is kept under the wraps. So little bit people are talking about it, but overall, it's still something to be ashamed of, and still something which is, they don't want to discuss it in public because they feel like it's it's something negative, or it's a problem, or it's a fault of that. It's nobody's fault. I mean, if you have diabetes, is it your fault? If you have thyroid, is it your fault? Similarly, if you have infertility, it's not really your fault. It's one of the things. So we address it. So there are a lot of misconceptions, half knowledge, lack of knowledge, which really needs to be addressed.
So yeah, I know that's so true. That a lot of times, it's everything is blamed on the woman, unfortunately, and so now tell me, has modern empowerment expanded the freedom, or has it increased complexity? What role should doctors play in shaping the public health narratives in today's digital era?
Yeah. No, I think a little bit of both has happened. It is definitely women are more empowered, they're making more choices, and definitely there's more complexity because with many more choices comes difficult decision making and complexities. Once upon a time, it was easy. Our mothers and grandmothers married at 18, 3, 4 children by the time they're 25, and it's all done. And there was no thought behind that. But today, because they have choices, they have a choice of delaying parenthood, they have a choice of freezing their eggs, choice of freezing their embryos, choice of having a baby when they want to, if they want to. They can in our country, termination of pregnancy is legal, contraceptives are available, IVF is very good, egg freezing has become fantastic nowadays. So there are a lot of choices. And like I said, unfortunately, with these advances, with these choices, knowledge has not taken the same path. So many times, almost every day, I see young girls who are following the American lifestyle. They all have boyfriends. In today's time, if you don't have a boyfriend, it's considered abnormal. So they all have their boyfriends. Many of them are now having premarital sex. It's considered quite normal, and there is no moral issues here. It's a choice that you have. I have nothing against the choices, but I have something against doing it out of ignorance. If you are making a choice, make that choice, but make sure you are protected. Make sure you're having contraceptive. Make sure you're not getting infected. You're not getting exposed to HPV. You're using condoms, whatever you're. So be informed and then do the choices, no problems. But being stupid and just doing something because everybody else is, and not knowing the benefits, side effects, problems, implication, future, risks and benefits, and then making choices is stupid. So I feel we have been wrong. We have underperformed. We have not been able to reach out to the young women in this country and teach them what they should know when they become adults. It is our fault. It is the fault of our system, our teachers, our parents, us as healthcare professionals, that our young women are going into this world not knowing. They don't know how to prevent cancers. They don't know about HPV. I have 40, 50-year-old patients coming to me. What, HPV? Never heard of it. They've had 2 children. So I asked them, when was your last pap smear? What is that? I'm like, you've had 2 children. Has your gynecologist never told you that you needed to get a pap smear? So we are also at fault. That's what I said. So, complexities have increased, choices have become many, but the basic knowledge which is required to make good choices has not come in.
Yeah, no, that's so true actually, because though there's so much of information, but knowledge is very limited, and most people do not, get the right information that they need in spite of so much of knowledge available. This
Yeah,
has
I
been
think
really
too much
very,
knowledge. Yeah, there's too much knowledge out there. I mean, if there
there's
are
too much
1
knowledge.
million things coming to you, you type anything into, Google search or AI, you will get 20,000 different answers. How do you know which is the right answer? I mean,
Yeah,
if, for
it's
example, you look at treatment of fibroids, okay, and they will tell you to drink turmeric powder. They will tell you to stand on your head. They will tell you to do certain stupid things and, do yoga and do this, and your fibroids will melt and this will disappear. And very top-notch yoga specialists have said this, and I've heard it. Your fibroids will melt. Fibroids never melt. So this kind of lack of information. So which is why, like for a person like me, I was never on Instagram. I'm so busy doing 100 other things. I was never on Instagram. I have recently started an Instagram, story of mine and started the reels because I feel, where is the right information from doctors who will give the right knowledge? So we don't want quacks to be spreading knowledge.
yes,
We
that's
have to
true.
put them out there.
Exactly.
And so now you'll find me on Instagram at Rishma Pai.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I have seen some of your reels, and I've seen some of your son's reels also. He also spreads a lot of information, and which is really very good. So this is really very nice talking to you. Now I hand over to Dr. Pranjali for her segment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lotika. And it's such an interesting, ma'am, listening to you. And I was just observing you, and you are so expressive. Today, I was like, आज में audience होना चाहिए थी यार. It was such a lovely watching you and listening to you, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next segment is about audience ask. This is getting popular in our hexalog now. So, it's about if there is a one reproductive or hormonal health decision, women in their late 20s or 30s, what it would be. So they should take it earlier rather than deciding later in their life. So,
100%, yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, just make on your mind a very broad fertility plan. I want to have children. I don't want to have children. I want to have one child. I want to have two children. Just a broad plan. It may not materialize in life, but at least you know what you want. I have children today. So many patients today who come and say, "I don't want to have a child. We are a dog parent," and that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. That's the decision you've made. Many people are making that. It's fine, but you should not go to the age of 45 and then regret that decision. And so, which is why I tell them that today their choices, technology has advanced so much. You can freeze your eggs and keep, it'll give you a choice. Bad may you don't want to use it, your choice, sure. But if at the age of 40 or 38, you suddenly decide, okay, now I've changed my mind, I found Mr. Right, I want to have children, I love my sister's children, I want to have my own, you have that option open to you. So make a life plan, make your reproductive choices, be well informed, be educated, be tuned in, and talk to your very sensible gynecologist for advice.
Ma'am, and once the egg freezing is done, so how many years you can preserve it? Is
Oh,
there
egg
any
freezing, once
duration?
it's frozen. Yeah. Eggs are frozen at minus 196 degrees centigrade. If you see
Okay.
your freezer is at 0. We are
Yeah.
at minus 196. So it's completely a state of inactivity. Once the eggs are frozen, you can keep them forever if you want. And in fact, we've had the longest interval of embryo freezing and had a baby. One of our patients in Delhi, because we have centers in Delhi as well, came back after 13 years of her first baby. She went abroad. She, I think, forgot that she had embryos. 13 years later, she came back. We had her embryos frozen. We put them back, and she had a second child 13 years later. So this is one of the oldest, like having a baby after the freezing. So you can keep it for as long as you want. Yeah.
Lovely. And now we see a lot of GDM patients, and GDM normally they feel GDM is a pregnancy thing. Once the delivery is done, they are out of, complications. So
Yeah.
normally, but GDM is the earliest sign of metabolic disturbances.
Okay.
So we see a lot of patients who are getting GDM and they come with after 10 to 15 years with proper developed type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
So what strategies as a gynac and diabetologist we should have it after GDM so that we can prevent progression of GDM to diabetes?
Yeah.
Because we miss follow up after once they deliver the child.
So in fact, I'll go to even earlier than that. You're starting with pregnancy. I'm starting with PCOS. So I'm starting with a 17-year-old girl who has PCOS, and then she's putting on weight. And then by the time she's 24, she's overweight. She's having full-blown polycystic ovarian syndrome. She already has metabolic disturbances coming in. Triglycerides are high. Cholesterol is elevating. Her HbA1c is on the higher side. And then when this girl becomes pregnant, then in the second half of pregnancy, the possibility of developing diabetes is high. And we have already informed them. And this is one of the counseling of PCOS that I do, that, if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's a full-blown metabolic disorder, insulin resistance, you're likely to get diabetes in pregnancy and beyond. And so in pregnancy, obviously, we monitor them very, very carefully. Along with help from all of you all to make sure that the sugar is well controlled in pregnancy. And then after delivery, obviously they come back for a follow-up, and we always tell them two things: your blood pressure, if you get it in pregnancy, high BP, and if you get diabetes in pregnancy, they may disappear after pregnancy, but some percentage will continue to have high blood pressure and diabetes or abnormal sugars much later, and will continue as a part of your life. And so right from them, you've kind of informed them that this doesn't end with this, it will go on. And so they have to follow up with their endocrinologist or diabetologist.
Yeah, I think the counseling plays a very important role along with the family so that we can explain them the need of regular checkups after the delivery itself.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, after the baby, they just disappear.
Yeah.
Okay, I finished my family now. I don't need a gynac. I said, after your family is the time when you need the gynac the most. Because
And
that's
even they forget diabetologist also. They don't come back to us.
the time when the problems start, when a woman is 40, and then all the problems, the cancers, the bleeding disorders, tumors, fibroids, everything comes after, So, yeah, like I said, we have failed to educate. Yeah.
Yes, exactly, ma'am.
Yeah.
My next question is for young gynecologist and fertility specialist aspiring to build both clinical excellence and public trust. What is the single most important principle that has guided your success?
hard works and ethics. There's no replacement for either. So you continue to work hard, even though you become this hugely successful gynae. Continue to work like it's your first day. Hard work, preparation, always, and continue to be very, very ethical. Keep your heart and soul. Don't lose that in the journey.
Right.
Only then, and people feel that they can relate to it. If you're caring for them, they feel it, and that's what you need to do. So thoda do patient come dekh lo, but spend time with the patient, explain to them, explain to their family, I mean, you need to care. Otherwise, don't be a doctor. Go make money outside. You get much more money outside. Doctors don't make that much money. So become a businessman. But if you care, then remain a doctor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your inputs. Now we are going to change our gears and we are going to start our rapid fire round, which is like from heart to heart. You're not going to think anything, just from your heart, you're going to give us answer, ma'am.
Oh, God.
So, ma'am, first question for you is one word for your journey.
Fulfilling, satisfying.
Lovely. Science or intuition?
Science. Completely.
Influence or integrity?
Integrity, for sure.
Biology clock or career clock?
Both in parallel.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Heels or scrubs?
Scrubs in the day, heels at night.
Yes. Thank you.
I actually follow that. People who meet me in the evening at parties, they're like, Doc, what is this? You look so hip. I'm like, okay, I'm a doctor, but that doesn't mean that I can't wear modern clothes or, enjoy my life. So it's a little bit of both.
Lovely, ma'am. Ma'am, coffee, chaos, or calm? Which fuels your day?
Mostly calm, little bit of coffee.
Yes. Ma'am, one habit that protects your peace and keeps you grounded.
Having no habits. I'm malleable, I'm flexible, I have no bad habits. I'm very disciplined. That's what helps me.
Lovely. What comes to your mind when we say the word power?
Oh, I mentioned this already. The ability to choose what you want to do and to be able to do it. That's power.
Super, ma'am.
You want to do it. Yeah.
Media or medicine? Where do you feel more impactful?
Like I just mentioned, medicine is my life. So I am able to make an impact. I'm able to bring so much happiness into people's lives, give babies to those who've never had one, to solve their problems, to cure their disease. So that's powerful. But now I realize media is extremely important. Unless you spread the message, there is no point.
No point.
I for many years, actually, I've been doing that. But now it's a little more on the digital media as well. But I've been always going to all women's groups, whether it's IMC, I've gone and spoken at Jindal Steel, I've gone and spoken at State Bank of India to all the women. Wherever I go and I talk, because I feel if you don't educate them, they are going to be really suffering in their lives.
Yes, ma'am. And my last question to you, success today means?
Oh. Success
No
means
thinking, you just
is actually being here, being interviewed by 5 powerful women. And, it's great because you chose me to be.
It's an honor for us, for all of us. Actually, it's an honor.
That's so special for me.
It's a treat, to listening to you and just looking at you. You're so, so beautiful and you're expressive. So that was sharp, sincere, and so authentic. Just Vibe stands for. Over to you, Dr. Rukia, for the closing. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your answers.
Ma'am, it's been such a wonderful. I am so happy that you have accepted our invitation and you have been here, given us your time from your very busy schedule. It's just been truly wonderful. Some conversations just inform you, but some of them, they truly stay with us. And today's session of this vibe has been something like that, where you've not just shared your expertise, but also you have opened up by sharing your perspective, your honesty, and also your your journey. It's truly telling us what Dr. Rishma Pai is. So it's been an absolute pleasure for us to have you here. And each one of us would like to say what has been our learning from today's session. And what stayed truly with me is, yes, the power is the ability to be able to do what you want to do, but also understand that this power will come and go. But what stays is how you made others feel while you were in power. So I think that is my learning for today. Over to you, Dr. Lotika, for your learnings.
So yeah, so many things to take home from this hexalog today. What's very important is that women are amazing and they can do a lot. But what's very important is that you must nurture people and create a village of support, because that's very important. Because I think we as women, when we step out of our houses, we need somebody to manage and somebody to support. And if we don't nurture them, then it's very difficult. Dr. Kavita, what is your take home?
So thank you, ma'am, firstly, for inspiring us today. We are motivated to keep pushing and keep moving forward with our vision that we already created with Vibe. But what I learned from you today is that with great power comes great responsibility. So leading from the front is necessary. And to tell like-minded women and to educate them is so much more important. The community has to be aware. And for that, we need to take the step forward and we need to lead there. So that was just so important. Thank you so much for sharing that. So over to Dr. Pranjali.
I'm back again. So, ma'am, there are many. First is being authentic, caring for your patient, and talking to your patient, counseling, which is I've learned from you. But beyond that, it is expressions which I was seeing and I was telling again and again. So that plays a very important role whenever you're talking on the video or on the webinar. So expression plays a very important role. It was lovely watching you, ma'am. So that was from my side. Ritu, now your turn.
I'm always happy when I go last because then I know that I don't have the pressure of time, but I know I have. So, ma'am, I really love a couple of things, but I'll try to keep myself short. One is, of course, I love the confidence that you hail. I love the way you said that I'm not a pink ball of fluff, but you are clearly a flag bearer of women's health, which is not something that is a difficult thing to read. For example, some people have to shout it out that, hey, look, I'm doing this. But I think for you, your work speaks. So I think that is a very silent and strong message for all of us, that keep doing your work. That is what is important. The titles are always, come and go kind of a perspective. But if you have, an intent in your heart, that's the reason you've become a doctor for, like you rightly said. It's not about the money. Again, money also comes and goes. But if the impact is what is going to remain and create legacy, there can be nothing better than that. And also another thing is, I love the humility. Your right from your upbringing. I see a lot of times there is upbringing, but then people are not able to make most of it. So I guess using that upbringing and ensuring that you use your passion to build it further and still remain grounded and be able to oppose a whole group of people in a room to say that this is what the reality is when actually the consensus was otherwise. I think that is where I bet all my money on, and I'm truly sold on to you that we all should take inspiration from these kind of things, that when it is about reality and when you feel it with confidence that this is what you should stand for, then you should just stand for it. So thank you so much for inspiring us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, ma'am, this is our signature vibe. So we join our hands, and at the count of 3, we'll all be saying, "Be the vibe." Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Be the
Be the
vibe.
vibe.
Be the vibe.
Love it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Such a
Rishma.
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
All the best, you girls. Go out there and change the world.
Thank
We
you.
will keep
Thank you.
pestering you for a lot of things. We are going to keep involving you in a lot of programs. So please bear with us.
I love that 5 of you have come together. Like, if you can remain together and, support each other and elevate each other, it's very difficult, let me tell you that. But if you
I
can do
totally
it, it will be fantastic. And you'll
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Bye.